So I'm here in Singapore, just got in today and was hanging out with my friend Visa, and I did a new riff on one of my favorite of his things of mine, which is my dream mashups metaphor, which is that everybody is constantly living in a mashup of their past experiences with their current reality, and like dreams, we often don't notice how weird this is. The thing is, other people notice how weird it is, and so they will find themselves chafing at being inside your dreams often, inside your mashups, inside the meanings that you're projecting on them. And you've probably noticed this from the inside as well. One of the ways that you can tell that you're inside somebody else's mashup is that they seem to think something about you that is absurd, that they could think that about you. And you're almost indignant that they think it about, like, how could you know me better than this? How could you think this about me? And this is why one of my principles that has so far never led me astray in the couple years that I've had it is if it feels like something needs to be said, even though it also sort of feels like it should go without saying, just say it. Suck it up and say it. Well, you don't suck it up. Acknowledge that something is feeling weird internally, and then also just say it. And a great example of this is my partner at the time was frustrated about not having a lot of friends where we were living, and I got this sense that she thought that I didn't want her to have friends somehow. I had the impression that somehow that was the story that she was telling about the situation, was that I wanted her to not have friends, and I was like, okay, I'm going to say a thing that may be really obvious, but I've been practicing saying things that feel like they should go without saying, so I'm going to say the thing. I want you to have friends. And she started crying because, in fact, she had been managing to get herself into a world where I didn't. And when I said that I did, she sort of saw that that was true. It's not always that easy to point that out, but sometimes it actually is that simple to just name the thing, spoken from the heart. And that was made possible because I was able to not get indignant about how unseen I felt by the fact that she thought that I could possibly want her to not have friends. Instead, I was able to just acknowledge that whatever part of her thought that clearly didn't know me very well, and that's okay, even though the rest of her knew me very well. Whatever part she was experiencing must not know me, and that's a necessary part of how it could come to think that. And so I need to relate with the part that's there, whatever aspect of her experience that is. But in general, what people often do instead is they'll get kind of indignant. They're like, I don't deserve to be in this dream with you. Get me out of here. And that has the effect, first of all, of kind of invalidating the other person's experience. And also, if the kind of projection that you're in is something where they're projecting some sort of authority onto you, or some sort of it can often end up reaffirming the very authority that you're trying to cast off, or the very sense of like authoritativeness, because you're sort of saying, you should not see me like this, you should see me the way I see me, which is how an authority would act. So being indignant doesn't really work very well, it turns out. But importantly, part of what enabled me to make that move was that I was able to really honor my own experience of how not seen I felt. So I didn't need her to see me in that. I was able to see that for myself, and that gave me the space to then speak to her from that really clear, open-hearted place. So yeah, that's a tip. Say the obvious, even when it feels like it really should go without saying. Acknowledge internally first the fact that it feels like it should go without saying, because there's part of you that's seeing something really clear with that. But yeah, you're not gonna manage to indignantly eject yourself from somebody's dream. It works a lot better if you can, somebody's dream mashup, it works a lot better if you can acknowledge and just allow for the fact that you've ended up there, and then gently point out however the world seems to you, such that it doesn't make sense for you to be in there. Cool. If you have questions or if you have other examples of situations like this, I would love to hear about them below.